The Android invasion continues. Last week we gave you a preview of the Samsung Galaxy Note, where Samsung is trying to find a middle ground between a tablet and a phone now with a 5.3-inch display. Siddharth Sharma this time gets us a full review.
Last week I showed you a preview of a new unique device from Samsung, which many believe is a hybrid between a smartphone and a tablet. Yes, I'm talking about the new Samsung Galaxy Note. It's a monstrous looking device and it's definitely got an X factor to it. But before we get into a full review, let's take a look at its design first. The Samsung Note represents the middle ground between a slate and a smartphone and is a category in itself, no doubt about that. Up front you'll find a huge 5.3-inch touchscreen, but it's still unusually thin at just 9.6mm. At the back it has a Samsung Galaxy S2 feel to it, but in a blow-up version. Additionally, this hybrid also comes with something called a Smart Pen. And to top it all, you would be able to house a smartphone as huge as this easily into your pocket. Alright, I won't deny that I fell in love at first sight with the new Samsung Galaxy Note. I mean, look at it. It's got a huge 5.3-inch display up front. But every relationship has a downside to it. And so I was found nagging and the phone nagging back to me. But before I tell you the entire story, let me remind you what the specs on the new Samsung Galaxy Note are like. The Galaxy Note features the world's first 5.3-inch HD Super AMOLED display, the largest yet. It also houses a massive 1.4 GHz dual-core processor, even beating its own Galaxy S2's computing power. The Note runs on Android 2.3.5 Gingerbread, and at the back it has an 8-megapixel camera that does 1080p full HD video recording, along with a front-facing 2-megapixel camera for video calling. Memory is at 16 GB internally with a micro SD card slot that can expand up to 32 GB. The monster phone called the Galaxy Note comes at a price tag of a whopping 35,000 rupees. The Samsung Galaxy Note also comes with a capacitive pen for a finer control. Handwriting is much faster on the phone than touch typing on a touchscreen keyboard. Also, it carries a certain novelty to it. The pen screen interface is quite sensitive and you can use it for freehand drawing, writing notes or handwritten memos. So the creative types would definitely love it. So those were the specs on the new Samsung Galaxy Note. As I told you, for my user experience, it was a love-hate kind of a relationship. I love this 5.3-inch Super AMOLED display up front. I love its dual-core processing capabilities, but there are plenty of apps on the Android app market that do not support such screen resolution. The camera on the Samsung Galaxy Note is also brilliant. The Smart Pen functionality is also good, and mind you, the creative types would really love it. It also easily slips into your pocket, but it's like walking with an L-guard throughout a day, if you know what I mean. But it costs a bomb. It costs your pocket about 35,000 rupees. That's almost equivalent to a 10-gram gold brick. But it's not a 10-gram gold brick, it's not a tablet, it's not a smartphone. For 35,000 rupees, I would rather go ahead and buy a tablet, or if I need a smartphone, I would buy the Samsung Galaxy S2. But right now for me, the Samsung Galaxy Note at a price as high as this is a no-buy.
Alright Varun, we had already talked about this phone last week for 35,000 rupees. Is your verdict still to say that although it's a 5.3-inch phone, everything works better on it, nicer display, don't buy a 35 grand?
35 grand is just too expensive. Even after seeing all the reviews, even after seeing everything, I still wouldn't want to recommend this to anybody for 35 grand.
But do you see some sort of a pattern happening on the show now? The first three phones were Android. Samsung Note is an Android phone, and there have been a bunch of Android phones that are releasing in the market this week. This Android invasion is coming, and how?
Coming and how? It's already been there for the last 6 months, I think. In the last 6 months, there's this rough stat that I read somewhere. There are 140 world Android phones, which is all the big brand names that are present across the world. 140 phones have launched. In the last 2 weeks, in the US, 7 new top-of-the-range dual-core Android phones have launched.